Mama, we have a biology class today.
Okay, good. You are very excited, Vanya. Anything special about that class?
Yes, Mama. Ma'am will teach us new chapter today.
Then what is special in that?
It's about the living world. Means we will study about different plants and animals.
Okay, that's good. You will get knowledge about the living world. Vanya, complete your breakfast and be ready for your online class.
Okay, Mama. But I have a doubt.
What is that?
Do all living beings breathe, grow, and they need food?
Well, yes. All living beings they grow, they breathe and need food.
How, Mama?
Like you are taking food. So why you are taking food? So as to get energy for your growth. So similarly, all living beings they breathe, they respire, they need food. Well, attend your class, Vanya, and ask your queries to your teacher.
Okay, Mama. Very excited for the class.
Go and attend your online class. It's the time of your class now. Go, beta.
Yes, Mama. Going.
Hello students, welcome back to your biology class. Hope you all are fine and watching the videos and revising the lectures through that videos. And you also have seen the Tata Edge video, so it must be clear and to you that which chapter we are going to discuss today. That is chapter 7, which is the world of living. Hope so all the videos must be informative and must be clear to you. So topic which we are going to discuss today is characteristics of living beings. Learning outcomes. Students, after the completion of topic, you will be able to identify the characteristics of living things. You will be able to define cell. What is the definition of the cell? You will be able to identify the characteristics of living things on the basis of some common characteristics. You will be able to differentiate between unicellular and multicellular organisms on the basis of their cell number. You will be able to temporarily slide off an onion peel. Here I will show you a virtual lab in which you will be able to learn how to prepare a slide of an onion peel. Next, you will be able to write the characteristics of living things. So after the completion of the topic, student, all these learning outcomes will be achieved. So let's continue with the topic. Here you can see the picture. In this picture, some are living, some are non-living. Earlier you have done in your previous class that the living things are those which can breathe, which can grow and which can move. And on the other hand, the non-living things which can't breathe, which can't grow and which can't move. So here are the examples are given. Let's differentiate them on the basis of their characters of living and non-living things. Here first is the mushroom. So mushroom is a living being as it can breathe, it can grow. Teddy, it can't breathe, it can't move, it can't grow. So that is a non-living. Zebra, it breathes through the lungs, so it is living, it can move. Skateboard is non-living. Fish, it has gill, it can breathe, it can grow, it can move. Crocodile breathe through the lungs, living है. Tree is is living, it has stomata, so by which it breathes. Similarly, flower is living. Ball is non-living, although when we kick it, it moves from one place to other, but it can't grow, it can't breathe, so it is non-living. Chair is non-living. Dragonfly is living, it breathes. Doll is non-living. Cloud is non-living. However, sometimes students they ask, "Ki cloud, although it grow in size, it uh, move from place to place, so it possesses the characteristics of living beings, but it can't breathe. It can't. Its body is not made up of cells, so that is." So it is a non-living thing. It doesn't possess the all the life processes. So it is a non-living being. Bird, it respires through lungs. It is a living. It can fly. Earlier frog, it has gills, later on its respiration is through the lungs, so it is also a living being. So here we can differentiate living and non-living things on the basis of few characteristics. Now we are going to differentiate the non-living things from living things by having some more characteristics, by learning some more characteristics. So what are those common characteristics which living beings they have but non-living they do not have? Let's study. So these are the characteristics of living things which we are going to discuss in detail. Living things, they are made up of cells. Living things, they grow. Living things, they need food and water. Living things, they respire, they breathe. Living things, they move. They respond to stimuli. Stimuli is some external force to which a plant or animal react or may respond. So, next, living things, they reproduce. Living things, they excrete. And living things, they have a definite lifespan. So, these are all 9 characteristics which we are going to discuss in detail one by one. We will study them in detail. So let's take the first characteristic, that living things they are made up of cells. Question comes in mind, what is cell? How will you define cell? So cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Means basically it is a structural head. It provides shape to the cells, it provides shape to the body and helps in performing various functions. Let's take an example like kidney. What is the shape of the kidney? Kidney, its shape is like a rajma bean. Kidney beans like a rajma like. So its shape is like, so basically the shape of the kidney is like bean like it has. So these cells provide the shape to the kidney like. Clear? And what the function it performs? It performs function of removing the waste from the body and helps to purify the blood. Clear? So these cells are so tiny that we can't see them with the naked eye. We can only see them under the microscopes. So this is your first learning outcome which we have achieved, means you are now able to define cell. Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Clear? So cells, they may vary from person to person. All cells, they are not of same size, they are not of same shape. Do you know a newborn baby has about 2000 millions of cells? Now can you imagine an adult has how many millions of cells or trillions of cells? Yes, an adult has 3000 trillions of cells. So living body is made up of cells, and the number of cells they are in million and trillions in a human body. Coming to the next, we are going to differentiate organism on the basis of the cell number. So organisms are uh, on the basis of on the number, we are categorizing the organism, we are dividing the organism into two categories. One is unicellular and other is multicellular. So uni means single, uni means single head, and cellular means cell. So cell, their body is such organism, their body is made up of single cell. Such organism they are called as a unicellular organism like amoeba, bacteria and paramecium. On the other hand, organism, their multi means many. Such organism, their body which is made up of many cells. So such organism they are called multicellular organism, like plants, like animals. So students, this is the next learning outcome which we have achieved now. Now you are able to differentiate the organism on the basis of the cell number into unicellular organism and multicellular organism. Unicellular means having single cell body and multicellular means many cell body. Coming to the next, there are few more examples are given here of unicellular organism. First is paramecium, then amoeba, then bacteria and yeast. All of these organisms, their body is made up of single cell. Next is the structure of amoeba. This diagram, it comes many times in paper. Here you can see the outer layer, which is called as a cell membrane. This outer layer, it protects the amoeba. First, what is amoeba? Amoeba is a single cell body. Where it is found? It is found in water, it is found in moist soil. So this outer layer of amoeba is called cell membrane. What is the function of the cell membrane? It protects the cell, the inner material, from the outside material. Coming to the next, that is a food vacuole. What is food vacuole? It acts like a stomach. It helps in the digestion of food. Means whatever the amoeba it eats, all that digestion takes place in this food vacuole. Next is the nucleus. Nucleus, it controls all the activities of the cell. Clear? Next, one more vacuole is there, which is called water vacuole is there, which helps to store the excess water and waste inside it. So this is the diagram. Amoeba has an irregular shaped body. Like we have a fixed pattern, but amoeba body is irregular. So next we are going to discuss to prepare the temporary mount of an onion peel. So let's move to the virtual lab. So students, let's start with the activity. So this is your activity to prepare the temporary mount of an onion peel. We will observe the onion peel under the microscope. For this, you have to take onion. In the first watch class, I have placed the cut piece of onion. In second, I have taken the water. In third, I have taken the safranin in diluted form. And in the fourth watch class, I have taken the water again. Now what you have to do, you have to take the cut portion of the onion and remove its outer peel, outer covering of the onion. From the inner surface of this onion, you have to remove the transparent layer with the help of the forceps. So here you can see I am removing this outer covering of the in this inner transparent peel, a layer of the onion. This layer is called as the onion peel, which we are going to take observe under the microscope. I am again removing. So with the help of forceps, you have to remove the inner layer of the onion, this transparent peel layer, which is called onion peel. Now what you have to do is you have to place this onion peel in the watch glass having the water. You have to cut it with the help of blade, the small pieces of the onion peel. Then you have to shift it in this next watch glass, which is having the safranin. Safranin is a dye which gives color to this onion peel. So with the help of brush, you can place this onion peel in the safranin solution for a minute. Then you have to shift it in the next watch glass having water so as to remove the extra stains. After a minute, then you have to take this onion peel and place it in the clean slide. So here I have placed this onion peel in the slide. Now I am adding 2 drops of glycerine. So that we can easily, with the help of this glycerine solution, we can easily observe the things. Now afterward, we have to put a cover slip. So you have to check that no air bubbles are formed when we are going to place the cover slip. And then we have to remove the extra glycerine which has come outside from this cover slip with the help of tissue paper, very gently, without moving the cover slip. So next, now it's time to see under the microscope. Here it is you can see the brick-like structure, you can see the rectangular structures. This is under the microscope. So these brick-like structures circular or rectangular structures, these are called cells. These are the cells of onion plant cell. Here you can see this onion cells under the high power, that is under the 45X. You can see this onion cell at the 45X. So this is an activity we have observed. Students, after watching the video in a virtual lab, now you are able to prepare the temporary mount of or a temporary slide of an onion peel. And now it has been clear that all living beings, including the plants or the animal, their body is made up of cells. And you have seen under the microscope that a plant body, onion peel, it has also have large amount of cells. So all living beings, including plants, animal, they have million or trillions of cells in their body. Now your next learning outcome has been achieved. Now you are able to prepare the temporary slide of an onion peel. Clear? So let's continue with the second characteristic, that is all living things grow. So living things, they grow and develop. All living things, including plants, animals, and humans, they grow and develop. Although the growth is limited, that is fixed in plants, in humans as well as in animals. On the other hand, plants, they grow throughout their life. You have seen when we grow, when we grow a seed, it germinates to form a sapling, a baby plant. After few days, later on, it becomes an adult. But when we cut a branch of a tree, of a plant, it again start late after few days or few months, a new branch start appearing. So plants, their growth is unlimited. They grow continuous throughout their life. On the other hand, you can see here the picture of an life cycle of the hen, where egg after 3 weeks it changes into chick after 3 months it becomes an adult. So after adult hen, no further growth is there. Clear? Similarly, in human beings, the baby is formed, baby changes into toddler, then it changes and becomes a child, then it becomes and later on the adult. So animals, they do not grow after a particular age, while the plants, they continue to grow throughout their life. So next characteristic is living things, they need food, they need water and air. So let's perform first an activity. Do all living beings, they need water? So students, let's start with an activity. Here we are going to find out, do all living organisms, they need water? So let's check out in the plants, like plants, they also need water for their survival. So here I have taken two pots. This is pot A, this is pot B. Clear? So what we have to do is we have to regularly put water in pot A. Clear? हमने regularly pot A को पानी जो है देना है, but not to the pot B. So what you will observe after 10 days, the plant which is growing in a pot A, to which we are giving the water regularly, it will grow and keep on growing. Clear? But the plant which is growing in pot B, to which we are not giving the water, so it will later on keep on, it will not grow, it will die after some time. So this conclude that from this activity we conclude that all living beings, including the plants, they need water for their survival. After you have seen this activity, it has been clear that all living beings, including plants and animals, they need water for their survival. Next one question comes in mind, why do these living beings, they need food, they need water and air? You have done the activity in which it has been clear we need water for our survival. Let's study why do we need food. So we need food to get energy for our growth, to be healthy and strong. So that's why this is the reason why we need food. Clear? And why do we need water and air? We need water for our survival. We need air for our survival. So as we know, plants, animals and human beings, all they breathe. Although, so what is breathing? Breathing means intake of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is a poisonous gas. So that poisonous gas is not required in our body. So we usually that exhale this gas. So that is called as a breathing. So do plants they also breathe? Yes. So plants, although they need carbon dioxide during daytime, that is during the photosynthesis, but don't get confused. Plants they also respire, but the amount of the respiration rate during the daytime, it is less as compared to the photosynthesis rate. So all living beings, including plants, including humans, including animals, all they need oxygen and for their survival. Clear? Next is the points to be remembered. So what we have discussed in the last characteristic, that green plants they synthesize their food by using carbon dioxide and water by in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, and this process is called photosynthesis. And plants animals in turn they use the food which is prepared by the plants. And during respiration, both plants and animals they release carbon dioxide gas and they intake oxygen for during this process. So students, these are the learning outcomes which has been achieved after the completion of the topic. Now you are able to identify the characteristics of living things. You are on the basis of their common characteristics. You are able to define cell. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. You are able to differentiate between unicellular and multicellular organisms on the basis of cell number. Like amoeba, it has a single body. On the other hand, the bird is a multicellular which is having many celled body. Now you are able to prepare the temporary slide of onion peel. Next, you will are now able to write all the 9 characteristics of living things. So hope you like this video. Enjoy learning at home. Be safe, be happy, and keep watching the videos. Thank you so much.